वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। 45th class today. You can repeat. Vasudevendra Yogindram
Vasudevendra Yogindram
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum
Mukshunam Hitarthaya
Mumukshunam Hitarthaya
Tattvabodha Vidhiyate.
Tattvabodha Vidhiyate.
Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannadhikarinam
Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannadhikarinam
Sadhana Bhutam
Moksha Sadhana Bhutam
Tattva Viveka Prakaram
Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshamaha
Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim
Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim
Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha
Nitya Vastu Vivekaha
Iha Mutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha
Iha Mudrata Palabhoga Viragaha
Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi
Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi
Mumukshutvam Cheti
Mumukshutvam Cheti.
तत्त्वविवेकः कः?
तत्त्वविवेकः कः?
तत्त्वविवेकः कः?
आत्मा सत्यः
आत्मा
आत्मा
सत्यः
सत्यः
तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्या इति।
तदन्यत् सर्वं
तदन्यत्
मिथ्या
सर्वं
इति।
मिथ्या इति।
So we are discussing after sadhana chatushtaya sampatti topic. We are discussing the topic of tattva viveka, and which is a topic of the text also. Tattvabodha, tattva viveka. Discriminative inquiry of tattvam. That is tattva viveka. Atma satyah tadanyat mithya iti. The four words are used here. We need to understand what these words mean. Then only we can understand what tattva viveka is. What are those four words which are used in this sentence? Atma, Satyah, Sarvam, Mithya. These are the four words. Atma, Satyah, Sarvam, Mithya. The last class we were discussing on the topic Atma. The discussion is not yet complete. We can talk more on Atma. We'll discuss on Atma today. And later, other topics we can discuss. We need to understand what is Atma very clearly, and what is Satya, what is Mithya, and what is Sarvam. The word Atma, the English translation of the word Atma is I. I is the translation. This I, on which the body, the mind, senses are superimposed. Therefore only with the body, therefore only the body, the mind, senses are claimed to be I. Really speaking, body, the shariram is not I. Indriyani, sense organs are not I. Buddhi, the mind, that is also not I. All these are superimposed on I. This I is self-conscious, always shining, bhati, swayam bhati, like the sun. It is self-shining. The body is like the moon. The moon doesn't have self-shining thing. The moon doesn't shine on its own. The moon reflects the light of the sun. Therefore, it shines. It is only a borrowed shining, borrowed light. Moon doesn't have its own light. Sun, for sun, whereas its own light, it is self-shining. Similarly, this I, the Atma, is self-shining. Whereas the body, the mind, senses, they shine because of Atma. So they borrow the shining, the illumination from the Atma I. Therefore they seem to be having consciousness. But really speaking, Sharira, Indriyani, mind, these three out of which this assemblage is made, it is not self-shining, it is not self-conscious, it has borrowed consciousness. And this I always shines. Sada bhati. Aham iti sarvada sarvada bhati. Always it shines as I. Therefore only this I, this Atma is self-evident. It is self-evident. In Dakshinamurti Stotram, Shankara Bhagavatpada beautifully he says, Yasyaiva spuranam sadatmakamasat kalparthakam bhasate sakshat tattvamasiti veda vachasa yo bodhayatyashritan yat sakshat karanat bhavena punaravrittir bhavambo nidau tasmai shri gurumurtaye namayidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Yasyaiva spuranam sada. Spuranam means self-revealing consciousness. Spuranam, meaning that which is self-evident, which is self-revealing. It doesn't need anything for it to be revealed. That is self-revealing. Self-revealing consciousness. The consciousness is the swarupam of Atma. Atma and consciousness are not different. That is, I and consciousness are not different. My swarupam is consciousness, which is self-evident, which is self-revealing. We recognize objects because of consciousness, because of Atma. Everything in the world is recognized as existent objects because of Atma. In fact, everything is because of Atma. Knowledge is because of Atma. Even ignorance is, that is also because of Atma. The knowledge that I know French is because of Atma. That knowledge that I don't know French language, that is also because of Atma only. Everything in the world can be classified into two things. We can just simply classify into two things, two categories. One is Jnatam, other one is Ajnatam. Jnatam, Ajnatam. Jnata vastu, Ajnata vastu. Known things, unknown things. These are the only two things. That which are known and that which are not known, unknown. That which is known is the object of your knowledge. That which is not known, unknown also. That which is unknown also, unless it becomes the object of your knowledge, you cannot know that you don't know it. So that which is known to you, you know. That is that which is unknown to you also you know. So that which is unknown, that also is the object of your knowledge. Therefore, everything in the world, whether it is known or unknown, is known to you. Known to you, the Atma, which is consciousness, which is Chaitanyam. That which is a revealer of everything is Atma. Atma reveals that which are known to you. Atma reveals which are not known to you. Therefore, that consciousness alone exists. It is self-existing. Consciousness, the translation for the word Atma, it is self-evident, self-existing, self-revealing. Really speaking, there is nothing other than consciousness. When you see a tree, a vriksha, you say this is a huge tree. The tree is evident to you. You can say that a thing exists only when that is evident to you as an object. Evident to you as an object. That object is lit up by consciousness, and the knowledge of the object takes place in your mind, and you know the object, or the object becomes evident to you. Therefore, the tree is evident to you. A flower is evident to you. An elephant is evident to you. A butterfly is evident to you. Happiness is evident to you. Pain is evident to you. Knowledge is evident to you. Ignorance also evident to you. Everything becomes evident to you when it becomes your object of knowledge. And now, when you say that consciousness, Atma, is evident to me, what does it mean? It is evident to you. Consciousness, Atma, is evident to you. What does it mean? Is this consciousness an object like a tree to be evident for you? No. When you say tree is, it means tree consciousness is. When you say flower is, it means flower consciousness is. When you say elephant is, it means elephant consciousness is. When you say butterfly is, it means butterfly consciousness is. In all this, the object of consciousness changes, but consciousness continues. Consciousness is the self-evident self, that is the I, this Atma, this consciousness is, and that cannot be objectified. It is evident to you not as an object, because it is you, yourself. Consciousness is not an object evident to you. In every evidence, consciousness is. The consciousness is. And this consciousness is self-shining and self-evident. This consciousness is self-existence. The existence is what is denoted by the word is in English. Is. Consciousness is. Consciousness and isness, they are not separate. They are same. Isness and consciousness, isness meaning the existence, they are same. Consciousness is self-shining and it is self-existent, existence. Therefore, they are not the properties of consciousness. That which is self-shining, that which is self-existent is consciousness. Self-existing consciousness is the meaning of saying consciousness is. I use the word consciousness for Atma. Atma or consciousness. Consciousness should not be understood to be something as a property to the body, property to the Atma. No. Atma is consciousness. And this consciousness is self-existent. Because it is self-existent, therefore, they do not depend on anything for its existence. Therefore, self-evident. It is self-evident. Therefore, only we say Atma is Satyam. The word Satyam means that Satyam means truth. And the word Sat, the word Sat means that which has independent existence. That which has independent existence, doesn't depend on anything else for its existence. That is called Sat. What is in the world which has independent existence? Consciousness, Atma, you. You alone is a thing in the world have got independent existence. Everything depends on you for its existence. Everything exists because of the borrowed existence. They do not exist on its own. Therefore, since Atma as independent existence, therefore you are not an object available for objectification. And what is available for objectification cannot be you also. This body is available for objectification like any other external object, like a tree, like a mountain. Therefore, it cannot be you because you are not available for objectification. The sense organs are available for objectification. Therefore, it cannot be you. The mind is available for objectification like any other external object. You can objectify your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. Therefore, it cannot be you. Therefore, this body mind senses. When body mind senses are not you, then who are you? Who are you without this? Do you exist without this? These, these are the object available for objectification. And you are not an object. You cannot be an object for yourself. That which is available as an object cannot be you also. Therefore, you, the consciousness, is not an object to be objectified. Therefore, only we say it is not available for any other available human instruments of knowledge. Not available for pratyaksha, not available for anumana, not available for anupalabdhi, upamana, ityadi, pramanam. It is not available. It is available only for shastram. Shastram is only pramanam. When I say lotus, lotus is an object of consciousness. There is flower consciousness. When you heard or when you see the lotus, there is flower consciousness. Similarly, when you see the sun is an object of consciousness. There is sun consciousness. When I say mountain, mountain is an object of consciousness. Mountain consciousness. Now, the object of consciousness changes from flower to sun to mountain, but this consciousness doesn't change. Consciousness continues to be the same consciousness. It doesn't change. So, consciousness continues to be. So, when I say lotus is, it means lotus plus the self-existing consciousness. Lotus plus self-existing consciousness. The isness of the lotus is consciousness. The isness of the lotus is consciousness. So the isnness and the consciousness are not different. The isness, that is the existence, is the lakshanam of consciousness. It is not a property. Lakshanam, when we say, they are not different, they are not separate. Therefore, in the presence of consciousness, which is in the presence of consciousness, everything is evident. And when I say consciousness is, it is not one more object. It is not one more object like the lotus. Therefore, this consciousness is self-revealing, self-existent. Self-revealing, self-existent consciousness. The word for self-existence or independent existence is Sat. Therefore, Atma is Sat. Atma is consciousness, Chit, all mean the same. Atma is, is the existence, the consciousness, or Chit, or Chaitanyam. All this mean the same. Atma is existence, and the existence is consciousness. The word for consciousness is Chit. The word for existence is Sat. Therefore, Atma is Sat Chit. And this Chit is Sat, Sat is Chit. They are not different. They are the Lakshanam of Atma. They are not two. They are one and the same. Therefore, we say Sat Chit Atma, Satchidatma. You would have heard the word Satchidananda and all. Sat Chit Ananda. These are the Lakshanam. Sat is the Lakshanam. Chit, meaning consciousness, is the Lakshanam. Ananda, its Swarupa is Ananda. Anantaha, unlimited, that is Ananda, Lakshanam of Atma. This cannot be the body, this cannot be the mind, this cannot be senses. So the body, mind, senses cannot be you. It is an assemblage. You operate that. They are the instrument given to you. Therefore, they are not you. That which is not you, over which we have this sense, this identification of I, self-identity, misplaced self-identity. That is the problem. This abhinivesha towards the body, that is samsara. It is given through which we operate in the world, but we become so identical in our conclusion with that, mistaking that to be body to be me. Therefore, I suffer. When the body suffers, I say I suffer. When the sense organs do not function properly, I say I don't function. When the mind doesn't think, when the mind becomes turbulent, you say you become turbulent. Atma cannot become turbulent. Atma cannot die also. Body comes and body goes. That is why in Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, Natve bhagam jatu nasam, natvam neme janadipaha, nachaiva na bhavishyamaha, sarve vayamatah param. It is not that you were not before. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, say, Arjuna, it is not that you were not before. It is not that you will not be after. It is not that I was not before. It is not that I will not be after. It is not that these kings who are standing in the battle, they were not there before. Not that they will not be after. It means what? They are continue to be. Continue to be how? Because they are going to fight and die. The bodies are going to fall. The bodies are going to be destroyed. Then how can they continue? Because they are not the body. They are Atma. Atma doesn't have destruction. That which is destructible cannot be Atma. Atma, the consciousness, it is that which is the self-existent. That which is existence cannot be destroyed. Existence cannot be destroyed. So, therefore, Atma is Sat, Atma is Chit. Instead of the word consciousness for Atma, we can use another word. We can use another word also. What is that word? Please listen carefully. We can take the same examples. When I say flower, flower is an object of knowledge. You see a flower. The flower, you know that it's a flower. So flower becomes an object of knowledge. You are the knower, and the object of knowing is the flower. So flower is an object. Knowledge takes place. Similarly, when I say sun, sun is an object of knowledge. When I say mountain, mountain is an object of knowledge. The object of knowledge changes with the object of your perception, from flower to sun, sun to mountain, etc. But the knowledge doesn't change. I know the flower is a knowledge. I don't know the flower is also a knowledge. I mistake the flower to be an insect. That is also a knowledge. So whether it is knowledge of an object or ignorance of the knowledge of the object, or wrong knowledge, viparyaya jnanam, wrong knowledge of the object, it is all knowledge only. It is all knowledge. And this knowledge is common. It's common in all the object of knowledge. And this knowledge has got a name in Sanskritam. What is that? Samvit. Samvit. Samvit means knowledge. So knowledge is another word for consciousness. Instead of using the word knowledge, we use the word consciousness, because the word knowledge always implies the knowledge of an object. When we say knowledge, we always connect it to an object. And when it comes to Atma, using the word knowledge, it can cause confusion. We can mistake Atma to be an object of knowledge. Therefore, only we use the word consciousness. We can use the word knowledge also. Atma is knowledge. Therefore, consciousness is knowledge. Consciousness is existence. When you say that I know an object, it means there is object consciousness. I know the flower, there is flower consciousness. I know the mountain, there is mountain consciousness. I know the sun, there is sun consciousness. I know the peacock, there is peacock consciousness. So in all the knowledge, what is common? What is common is this I. I is common. And in all this, what is common is this I, the consciousness. Therefore, can this I afford to be different from consciousness? Can it be different from consciousness? No, it cannot be. This I is consciousness. This I is consciousness. They cannot be different. That which is I is consciousness. That which is consciousness is I. Instead of consciousness, if you use a word knowledge, that which is knowledge is I. This I, which is knowledge, cannot become an object of knowledge for another thing. Therefore, it is independent. It is self-existent. Svatasiddha. They do not depend on anything for its existence. That is why we say self-evident. That is why we say self-evident. This Atma alone is Satyam. This self-evident, self-existent Atma alone is Satyam. It is Sat, therefore it is a truth. It is a Satyam. What about other than Atma? Is there anything about anything other than Atma? That is another thing. In the Vyavahara, in the empirical reality, if you take, there are objects, there are things other than you. Therefore, therefore we, therefore we use the terms, we use the sentence, other than Atma. What about other than Atma? Are they Satyam or Asatyam? They are not Satyam. They are not Satyam. Atma is Satyam. Other than Atma cannot be Satyam. Why? Because there cannot be two Satyams. There cannot be two reality. Atma alone is Satyam. That which is not Atma is Anatma. That which is not Atma is Anatma. Atma is I. What is not I is Anatma. So whatever you take to be I, it is not real I. It's all Anatma. Atma is Satyam. Anatma must be Asatyam. Anatma must be Asatyam. And there is a word for it. What is the word? Mithya. That is what here the author says. Tadanyat sarvam mithya iti. So Anatma is Mithya. Let us read the sentence again. You can repeat. Atma satyaha tadanyat sarvam mithya iti.
आत्मा
आत्मा
सत्यः
सत्यः तदन्यत्
तदन्यत्
सर्वं
सर्वं
मिथ्या
सर्वं
मिथ्या
इति.
इति.
मिथ्या इति.
So, having discussed what Atma is and understood Atma is Satyam, now other than Atma, which is Anatma, na Atma, Anatma, what are they then? They are Mithya. They are Mithya. What is Mithya? The Mithya, the word, we need to understand, an important word in the Vedanta. Even after studying 25 years of Vedanta, there are people who still don't understand what Mithya is. And they say, except Mithya, they understand everything. It means they don't understand Vedanta. So the Mithya has to be understood. The word Sat we know. Sat means that which has independent existence. That is Sat. Opposite of Sat is Asat. It is Na Sat, Asat. Asat means that which doesn't exist independently. Sat means that which exists independent of anything else. That is Sat. What is that which exists independently? The Atma. Atma alone exists independently. Now, I can give an example. This exists independently. If you take the hot water, the hotness of the water, it is the hotness of the water, is it the nature of the water or it is the borrowed one? It is swabhavikam or agantukam. The hotness, the heat of the water, it is not the swarupa of the water, the jalam. It is the borrowed. So that heat, the heat of the water, since it is not the swarupam, therefore it doesn't exist independent. The heat is because of the fire. The heat is because of the fire. So the swarupam of fire is heat, the hotness. So fire exists independently and water borrows the heat of the fire. So with regard to hot water, this hotness of the water is not, it's the nature of the water. That is asat. It is agantukam, it is borrowed. Similarly, the body also has borrowed consciousness. It has conscious because of this Atma. So this body exists, the body shines. Its shining depends on Atma. Therefore, it is Asat. So Asat means which doesn't exist independently. When you say this is a pot, a ghata, ghata means it means it's an object. Does it exist by itself? Does it exist by itself, or the existence of the pot depends on something else? The pot doesn't exist independently. It depends on clay. Clay is a cause for the pot existence. The pot exists because of clay. So clay is the cause, karanam, for the pot to be there. Really speaking, there is no really pot. Pot really the pot has no real object. The pot is not the real thing. The pot the pot is nothing but clay. The pot is nothing but clay. The pot doesn't have independent existence apart from clay. Minus clay, the pot doesn't exist. So the pot as an object available for your perception, it is really not there. What is there is nothing but only the clay. So, but you see the pot, it is only in the vyavahara, in the empirical reality, in the transactional world, you call it as a pot. It is nothing but a clay with a nama and rupa, a name and a form. A pot is nothing but a name and a form given to the clay. Therefore, the pot, which has a cause, which depends on the clay for its existence, and that doesn't exist independently, is called asat. Is called asat. Therefore, when we say an object is existent, we have to analyze the cause for the existence of the object. If it depends on something, then it cannot be real. It cannot be self-existent thing. Because it is not self-existent, therefore only it can undergo changes. Therefore only it undergo changes. Nama is there, a form is there, a nama and rupa, a form is there. The form undergo change. Can undergo change because it is not self-existent. Therefore, it undergoes changes. When the cause undergo changes, the effect, the product also, karya, also undergo changes. So vyabhicharati, it keeps on changing. So all the pots, are nothing made of clay only. So you have the knowledge of one pot, and there are many pots. So the knowledge of one pot is enough to understand all the pots, because the pot is nothing but clay. The pot is satya, and the clay is satya, and the pot is asat. Out of clay only all the pots are made. Therefore, there is nothing but only clay is there. In all the pots, what you see, there is nothing but the clay. The clay alone is sat. Knowing one clay, you know all the pots. Because the pots are not different from clay. This is what we saw in Mundakopanishad. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. Knowing one thing, you know everything. That one thing which is the only thing existent, that is Sat. Other things they are nothing but Vikara. They are nothing but the Nama Rupa. The Nama Rupa, and the Nama Rupa undergoes Vikara, Vibhicharati keeps on undergo changes, continuous changes. They can undergo continuous changes, like the body undergo changes. That is why it's called body, Sharira. Shiryamana Sabhavatvat Shariram. Dahana Yogyatvat Degaha. Body's nature is the nature is decay. That is the nature of the body. It comes into existence, Jayate, It grows, vardate, viparinamate, changes, apakshiyate, then vinashyati. Finally, it gets destroyed. So the body, which is nothing but the nama and rupa, and therefore it vyabhicharati, it undergoes changes. The body doesn't have independent existence. The body is as existence because of this Atma. Therefore, since it doesn't have independent existence and undergo changes, anything which doesn't have independent existence, they undergo change. They are anatma. Atma is the only thing which is Sat, doesn't depend on anything for its existence and therefore doesn't undergo any change. Therefore, it is very clear that which is Sat always will be there. That which is Asat will not be there always. It is there now, not there the next moment. Comes and goes. So, Sat is that which never changes. In Gita, Bhagavan Krishna beautifully says, Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Sat is that which never changes. It has no non-existence. Abhavaha na vidyate sataha. Therefore, you cannot negate Sat at any time. That is why Bhagavan Krishna said, it is not that you were not before, it is not that you will not be after. It means you are now also, you were that the past, you will continue to be in the future. It is a continuous existence. It cannot be negated. You cannot be negated in any point of time. Whereas Asat, it never enjoys, existence of its own. Therefore, only that which is Sat cannot be the cause for shoka. Sat cannot be the cause for dukkham. Asat only can be the cause for dukkham. Sat cannot be the cause for dukkham, that is, Atma cannot be the cause for sorrow. Asat, in fact, Asat also cannot be, because it has got continuous change. Therefore, it also cannot be the cause for sorrow. How can Anatma can cause sorrow? Because the nature of Anatma is change. The changing, that changefulness is the nature of Anatma. That also should not be the cause for Dukkham. But we are so clinged, attached, we have got attachment, abhinivesha to this Anatma. The change of Anatma causes Dukkham. That is the cause for dukkha. Holding on to the wrong thing and we suffer. That is called samsara. That is why we need viveka. Atma anatma viveka. That is a subject matter. That is the subject matter of the text. That's why we say tattva viveka. Tattva is the satya, the truth, the atma. So because now this atma is confused to be anatma, therefore dukkha, therefore samsara. Therefore what we need? Viveka we need. That is why tattva viveka. Discriminative analysis and understanding of the difference between the Atma and Anatma, distinguishing Atma from Anatma. Therefore, Asata cannot cause Dukkham. Sat also cannot cause Dukkham. Asat also cannot Dukkham. Sat has no non-existence and Asat has no existence. Bhavaha na vidyate. Therefore, Asat is called Mithya. And here one more important thing need to note. Asat doesn't mean non-existence. This is another confusion. They think Asat is non-existence, complete non-existence. Asat is not complete non-existence. There cannot be really non-existent thing. You cannot know the non-existent thing. How do you know a thing is non-existent? Unless you know it. When it is known to you, then it is not non-existent. Either it should come under the category of the known thing, or it should come under the category of unknown thing. That which is unknown is also known to you as that you don't know it. But there is nothing which is completely non-existent, that which is not known to you. There is nothing in the world like that. If you say square circle, let us say square circle. In the dream, it is possible. In the dream, you can imagine a square circle. In the dream, you can imagine a man with horns. The man with the horns. But it is man with the horns not there. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Square circle doesn't exist. But square exists and circle exists. Both exist. The combination of both may be possible in your dream, but square exists and that is known to you. Circle exists, that is known to you. You may combine them. It is your capability to combine them in the dream. That's a different thing. But individually they exist. Similarly, the man also exists, and the horns, you would have seen the horns of the animal, the bull or the deer. Horns exist, and the man also exists. Now it's your ability, your capability to combine them in the dream. You see a man with the horns, but man exists and horn exists. Therefore, the man with horns is not that something which doesn't exist. Individually they exist, but the combination is your imagination. So you cannot imagine something which is totally non-existent. Therefore, there is nothing complete non-existent. The word for complete non-existence is tucha. It is not there. So asat doesn't mean tucha. Need to understand. Asat doesn't mean tucha. Asat means that which has dependent existence. Anatma has got dependent existence. And that is, the word for that is mithya. So what is there is only Atma, therefore Satyam. And other than Atma, Tat Anyat, Anyat is other. Tat and Tat refers to Atma. Atmanaha Anyat, other than Atma, which is Anatma. What is Anatma? Sarvam. Everything. Whatever is available for your objectification, everything other than Atma. Because available for your objectification, for your knowledge, for your knowledge as an object, everything else that is anatma, including this body, mind, senses, they are asat, they are mithya. They don't have independent existence. They depend on atma for its existence. Therefore, mithya iti. Like the pot and the clay. The clay is satyam. And everything, so many objects of clay, pot, lid, cup, saucer, so many different types of pots, different sizes are available. They are all mithya. They don't have independent existence. The satyam, so the sat of all the pots is because of the clay only. The pot is because of the clay is. If clay is not, pot is not. Minus clay, pot doesn't exist. Therefore, the sattvam, what the pot enjoys, is not the sattvam of the pot itself. It is a sattvam of the clay. Therefore, clay is satya, sat. Pot is mithya. Same thing can be extended to the jagat, the same example. Atma is sat. Other than Atma, Anatma, it is Atma. How many Anatmas are there? Everything is Anatma. So many. The whole Jagat, Anatma, Prapancha, it is Mithya. It doesn't have independent existence. It depends on Atma. And Atma is Sat. This understanding is called Tattvabodha iti. So, we saw these 4 words now. What is Atma, Sat, then Anatma and Mithya. This is only an introduction. We are going to deal with that further in detail, elaborately. The next, here the author introduces the 4 words and he himself will say what is Atma. He will say what is Atma. When you understand Atma, then we know what is Mithya. But I have given you a very brief introduction to the meaning of these words. These words are important to be understood. And we, after that only we can use it. We can use it, taking for granted these words. So the meaning of these words for understanding that the Vedanta. In all the Upanishad class, we use the word Mithya, Mithya. This is the meaning of the word Mithya. So with this, we will stop our today's class. I hope you all understand and follow. So we'll stop here. And before we close the class, the next class will be after Navaratri. Navaratri starts on 17th. So after Navaratri, all our classes will resume. So all our classes will stop on Friday. From Saturday, there will not be any class for the next 9 or 10 days. All our classes will resume after Vijayadashami. So we will meet after Vijayadashami. I will announce in the group. Okay, we can stop here. And wish you all happy Navaratri. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
Happy
Happy
Navaratri.
Dasara to you too.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी. हैप्पी नवरात्रि.
Happy Navratri.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद स्वामी जी.